Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over an overview of how to download your data from your AiM Datalogger. This is just going to be going over how to actually get the data from the logger to analyze it on your computer using RayStudio 3. We have a Micron 5 here as an example to go through the process today. However, the process is almost identical for all of the newer generation AiM Dataloggers that use RayStudio 3. So the first thing you want to do is actually record some data. So depending on what logger you're using, clicking on the memory function will allow you to see if you have any stored sessions in the memory. So we do have some sessions here. It's going to bring up the fastest lap, and we have the lap time with the max speed and the RPM here. If we click page, it'll scroll through obviously the graphical format of the RPM. But if we want to go to tests and see how many actual physical tests were here, and each of them have one lap, and the spacing of the time is fairly similar to one another, so that's good. So we see 3 sessions here in memory, so we'll go back and we will exit. We'll just let that sit here, and we want to connect it to our computer. So depending on what logger you're using, you can use a USB or Wi-Fi connectivity depending on the logger. The Micron 5 here only has Wi-Fi connectivity, so we'll ensure that we're connected to whatever we've preset the Wi-Fi network to be. And here we have a Micron 5 with the serial number, and once we boot up RayStudio 3, which you see in the background here, we will have that displayed in the connected devices here. Okay, so once we actually bring up the connected device, we can actually look at a whole bunch of different things here on the logger itself. So live measures allow us to look at any of the live measures in the device. So you can see if I rotate it here, all the accelerometers and gyroscope data are showing live readings. But what we want to go to is the download tab here. So if you're not seeing this page, you want to make sure that you start in the configurations icon at the top. So start there and go to the download tab, and we see those same 3 data files or same 3 sessions that we saw on the logger here. Okay, so what we're seeing, these 3 sessions here are the same ones that we're observing here in RayStudio 3. So depending on your personal preference, generally what makes it easier for bookkeeping is if a session is all contained within one physical outing. So let's say that you started the engine 3 times here in one physical test session, or one physical heat race, or one physical final event or qualifying session. You might want to merge them all together. So the easiest way to do that is if we click on the gear icon on the right here, we can say merge all sessions. And then we can click refresh list, and when we actually select which ones we want to download here, so we can select them individually here, and this chain will indicate that they're merged. And if there's multiple sessions, instead of clicking them all, we can just click the button at the top. So we are wanting to merge all sessions in total, or merge the sessions of the same day, or we can remove that setting here of do not merge sessions if you want to have individual files for every single time the logger was triggered to record. I believe it's more convenient to have merging the sessions here for the same day for the event that we're looking at here. So we're going to go to settings, and we can set up the name and the directory. So I'll just save this to desktop here. So we're going to change the directory to desktop, and then the folder structure, it's just going to put it in a default folder of the date, and then we want to change the name to, let's say, test Micron data. So we can leave that name here, and we can configure a number of different fields here, but the best thing to do is use custom text here in the file name so that we have obviously a very descriptive name that can say, like, let's say a heat race, or Colorado being the data where this data was collected. Let's say it's Colorado Heat 1. So you can put that in the name. We'll just leave this as test Micron here, and we will click OK. And then it's going to allow us to refresh here quickly. And what we're going to do is, once we're happy with where we're saving the files, the file name that we've given it, and if we'd like to merge all the sessions or not, merging is the recommended preference for me. We can click download, and you're going to see now it's going to allow us to enter in some more information regarding what each individual test is actually, the statistics of each test. So we can enter in the driver name, the vehicle, the championship. We can say that this was generic testing, the track that we collected the data on, and we can say generic data file for Micron, or let's say Race Studio 3 tutorial. And we can enter in notes here, or in the comments field. So when we click OK, it's going to go through and download each of the data files. It's going to have a blue progress bar that's going to move to green as each data file is actually downloaded. And you'll notice that once Race Studio 3 recognizes that it's actually downloaded those files, it's going to hide them from view. It doesn't mean it's removed them from the memory on the Micron. So if we go here, we can see memory. We still have those 3 tests here. We haven't deleted them yet. Okay. However, they're hiding here just to prevent confusion. If we click unhide downloaded, that's going to allow us to show all the files that we actually have downloaded, and it's going to highlight them here with this green text stating already have been downloaded, so it's available in Race Studio 3 to look at. So if we want to remove the memory from, or format the memory here, we can do that as such. We can click on the gear icon and click format memory here in Race Studio 3, or if we go on the actual device, and once again this will vary depending on the device that you're using, but if you go to system settings here by clicking menu and then scrolling over to system settings, apologies, you keep going all the way to the garbage can icon here, and clear memory will allow us to do that here on the Micron 5. Okay, so we won't do that right now. That's up to you regarding filling up the memory, but these are 3 very small files here. They're just maybe 30-40 kilobytes in size. So now we can go and actually check where they went. So if we go to our desktop, we have a folder here of today's date. So we can open them up, open that folder up here, and we can see the data files that were downloaded right here. So these are the ones that are highlighted here. Okay, so these are the files that you're going to want to email to our website. The email's in the link in the description below, as well as the card that's displayed here, as we provide a service that can allow you to help analyze your data files. So in the email, you're going to want to input some generic information regarding the vehicle, the test type, the types of sensors, and the type of logger. And you're going to want to make sure that you include all of the data files here. So you can see that there is an XRZ and an XRK file for each of the 3 sessions that were selected here or downloaded. So you're going to email all of these as an attachment. So you can do that within Windows by just saying send to mail recipient and then type in the mail recipient here, right clicking, send to mail recipient, or you can upload them to the link in the description and the card. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. That was just a simple overview of how to download the data from a Micron 5 using Wi-Fi connectivity. It's a very similar process for all the Race Studio 3 generation of AiM Dataloggers. With USB connectivity, there's going to be no process step where you're actually connecting to the logger. As soon as you plug in the USB cable, it should start downloading the necessary drivers and then show up in Race Studio 3. As I mentioned, if you have any more questions, feel free to drop a comment in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more notifications in the future. Thanks.